Hey everyone, good evening. Today is Wednesday, week 3, and we are back with what happened today. So I'm going to go over some charts. These are all 3-month daily charts, starting with the SPY, and I'll go through some tickers out here, maybe about 10 of them, and really end with Tesla. But go over some factors as well that could be affecting the stock markets, right? Like look at the dollar, look at the bond yields as well as gold. So starting with the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, another down day. Now, interestingly, it gapped up today, or sorry, gapped down today. So it has a gap, that unfilled gap right now. And it actually opened and then went all the way down and then came back. So there was some good action, good pushback from the bulls. Don't know if that is maintained tomorrow or the next day. The volume was not too much. It was kind of low volume. Yesterday's was much higher, but also not huge volumes like we had seen here, right? So fairly okay. The MACD looks okay. It's kind of curling down, obviously. The RSI looks like it's giving way, going towards not at all oversold, so fairly neutral territory. So we could have a little bit of a bounce back tomorrow, but I have a feeling the way the market is behaving, again, I shouldn't have feelings because this has got nothing to do with feelings. It's all about price. What is the price telling us? But having said that, because of the little bit of pushback from the bulls, we could have, I would say, there's a better chance that we have a little bit of an up day tomorrow, or at least at the beginning of the day. However, I do think that the weakness is still there. The price moved below the 20-day today, so there's definitely weakness, and any rise will probably be sold. Folks will take an opportunity to sell into the market. So I feel like the risk remains to the downside. Looking at the QQQ next, very similar down day. The difference being that QQQ also gapped down in the morning, right at the morning, but was able to fill that gap. You see this here, this hammer kind of a candle. It opened low, went lower, and then ended at a high. So it was still lower today, by half percentage point, as you can see. So weekday, but again, the bulls may have a little bit of a comeback tomorrow. We'll have to see. IWM, no such luck about filling the gap. Again, you can see the gap here. It gapped down, did fill some of the candle out here, so it ended on a higher side of the candle, which is a good sign. Well, a good sign for the bulls. I'm not a bull right now. I am looking at it from a bearish standpoint, but it is again another sign that there could be a little bit of bullishness or a little bit of up day or partial day that we may see. But again, I think that unless it goes above this 5-day moving average, I'm going to remain bearish on this, right? And as we can see, it's almost hitting upon its 50-day moving average, which doesn't bode well for it. And again, the RSI is not at all oversold. There's ways to go. And moreover, it's under 50. So the traction is definitely to the downside. Looking at the VIX, and this is what I wanted to show, it's 2 big days that we have had back to back. I don't count these gaps as anything important, although eventually the gaps do get filled here as well on the VIX. But we can see that this is a real curling kind of a thing, right? So we can see that it has been low for a long time, kind of basing itself out, and this could go much higher. It touched 15, I think, today, backed off a little bit. The high today was about 15.3, as you can see. And I think that it likely goes higher from here. And here is the reason why. This is the dollar. Look at the dollar shaping up. The US dollar, which had fallen precipitously out here, straight cliff, right? And now it's slowly coming back with a low of 29. Obviously, these moves are very low, but it at least shows what direction we are going. Right now, it's crossed over the 5-day, 10-day, 20-day. The 5-day is going up. The 10-day is going up. The 20-day is still curling down. So we'll have to see how much this can retain itself. But for now, we can see the strength in the dollar, and that's causing the impact to the stock market. Similarly, the TLT, which is the inverse of the bond yields. Bond yields are going up, so we can see TLT really falling. Reached 100, couldn't manage to stay there, and now down to 94, and again touching the 50-day moving average, likely to cross below that, right? And nowhere oversold. It's at 42, RSI is at 42, so definitely on the bearish side. If this keeps going, that means the bond yields are going higher and stock market likely goes lower, right? So both the dollar and the bond yields are telling us stock market lower. I wanted to look at the KRE. I actually shorted this today through options. Talked about the XLF yesterday, and if you think about the weakest part in the financials, I still think it's the KRE, the regional banks, and clearly they have not had a good situation since middle of December when it reached a high. It's almost hugging the 50-day here. Everything is curling down. The 20-day itself is also curling down. Again, RSI is lower towards the bearish territory. I think it goes lower, so we'll see. This is the regional banks, and I think they go lower. Wanted to see ARKK. It's been probably it holds the most speculative technology stocks. The big two are Tesla and Coinbase is the biggest holding out here in the RK fund, which is kind of interesting. I was a little bit surprised, but it's almost 10% of RK, and then Tesla makes up another big 7 or 8%. So about 18 to 20% is Coinbase and Tesla, and we know that both are not doing too well. So you look at this, again, a free fall, well below the 50-day now. I can't see how this comes back. We can do something interesting quickly out here. We can do the Fibonacci retracement and see where we stand real quick, right? So here's your 50% retracement, which will be at the 44, around the 44 level, and we are at 45 right now, right? So I don't pay too much attention to it, but I know that many market players do, and those are levels that you should watch as it gets closer to that. It's definitely looking like it's going to go at least till that 50% retracement out here. Anyway, something I wanted to show out here, right? Japan has been a big discussion ever since Warren Buffett went to Japan and bought a bunch of stocks. It's been going up, as you can see. This, of course, the last 3 months, but it's been actually going up fairly at a steady pace the whole of last year. Taking a breather or falling back with the world markets falling down, right? So, if you want to see the world markets, ACWI is a good way to look at it. And you see that this is the all country world index, right? About 40% is the US, but the rest of it is all the rest of the world. So EWJ, which is the Japan index, I don't know how long it holds and where it goes now. It just started. The last 2 days have been bad, but this may be temporary, right? All right, gold, not looking good at all. I think we talked about it 2 days back. Now it's actually below the 50-day. Doesn't look good at all. Gold bugs, if you think gold is going to be the hedge against stocks falling, well, so far it's not looking like that, right? It's falling with the stocks. So not a good hedge as of now, and it's really looking very bearish. If you see the candles and the chart pattern, doesn't look good at all. All right, finally, Tesla. Still not catching a break. We had a good day yesterday. This candle looks positive to some extent. It could be a reversal, temporary, if not anything, at least a temporary reversal, because it opened lower, went all the way down, but closed higher, right? Closed almost at the highest point. So you have a hammer kind of a candlestick out here. So, but if you look at the chart pattern and the indicators, the moving averages, they're all curling down. I don't like the looks of it. The only thing could be that it's very close to being oversold, right? It's at 30.6. So now, having said that, it can stay oversold for a long time, as you can see out here. It remained oversold for a long time and kept going down, and then finally, moved up from here. So we shall see what happens. I think it still has some ways to go, especially if the market continues to keep going down. I think it has some ways to go. All right, that's it for today. Do reach out at Twitter at Alternate Trader, and you can review our blog at alternatetrader.substack.com. Thank you very much.